Hello. So it is the middle of January and we're in the middle of a cold snap. It's been unseasonably warm all winter, which means we've actually been able to get quite a bit of shit done out at the museum this winter. So a week ago out here when it was really cold, I came out, pulled a carburetor off International TD18 and learned how to rebuild carbs again. So now I'm out here to pull another one because we do need two good running ones. We've got a shovel with an International engine, and I'm told by one of the old guys that carb's all fucked up, so I figure I'll just get another one, get it rebuilt, ready to go. Hopefully things go easy in the spring. And that's a 1949 Dominion. It's like a 2.5 yard machine. And yeah, I've already rebuilt one that I think we're gonna stick on another TD18. I've got like 4. And gotta figure out which one we're gonna get running. Actually, we have 5. We have a pipe layer too, but the tracks are seized on it, so it's probably not going to be the greatest candidate. There's actually snow out here now too, so maybe we'll fire up a dozer one of these days and push some snow. But yeah, we got all these Internationals. Who knows what we're going to do with them? So here are our 4 finest TD18s. So this white one has a Bucyrus series blade on it. Carb looks, I don't know, fairly intact. Exhaust is covered at least. Blade, well, there's all that. So I don't know. We want this one, or we go to this one, just a bare tractor. We are probably going to use this thing a lot to, you know, pull start a lot of cat machines. So bare tractor is kind of nice. Doesn't have a seat. Who knows if any linkages works any good. Exhaust is covered, so there's that. Carburetor looks fairly complete. We were over here a couple months ago looking at these things and trying to steal parts off of them. Number 3. Exhaust is covered. No seat. Looks a little worse for wear. But it does have this big ass crack in the nose, and I know this radiator leaks. So maybe not this one. Maybe this is the one we steal parts off of. Carburetor looks decent enough. And then number 4 also has a Bucyrus series blade on it. Those are all the blades, and there's a brush rake over there. Cable control unit. Carb looks not terrible on this one either. Exhaust is covered. Lots of leaks on the side of the engine. I'd say there's a little water in there. So which out of these 4 TD18 should we use? I think I'm going to steal the parts off this one, just since I know it leaks a bunch of coolant. This one's got a different head on it on the one side. Gross. Well, let's get working on this one. It's freaking cold out here. Alright, so we've been fighting with this thing for, I don't know, 10 minutes. A couple of these things have been really rough. There we go. Come down off there. Hell yeah. So now I just gotta undo that throttle linkage and jam a rag up my hole, and go back to warmth. See you in a minute. So how do you start a diesel on gas? So actually, the first step's back here. This is our decompression lever. So that's going to open up a little chamber in the top of the head, exposing more combustion chamber. So there's a spark plug in there, third valve, and that is going to shut off the fuel supply to the injection pump. And you'll see a rod right here goes through the block to the other side. And it comes through right there. It comes ahead. So what it's going to do is it's going to activate the shut off lever. So that'll allow fuel to come into the carburetor. And there's a little throttle blade on the back of it as well. You got your choke cable right here, allow you to choke it. It's going to close off a couple of valves inside the air intake, forcing it to suck air through the carburetor, which will draw the fuel up into the engine. In the end, there is a over center link that is the ground for the magneto. So when you decompress the engine, it's gonna open this up, ground the magneto so that we have power for spark, and that will do that. So here's your spark plugs up here. They're all in behind this intake. And you're gonna start the engine on gas. You're gonna let it run for a few minutes. The TD18 we have, the other day I think I let it run for, I don't know, 3-4 minutes before I fired it up. And to fire it, what you're gonna do is give it some main throttle, and she'll start smoking real bad. That'll just be your unburnt diesel fuel. And once it does, that lever is gonna get flipped up. So that is gonna close off the spark plugs and all that good stuff. And it's gonna force it to run on diesel. It's gonna kill spark. And this thing will be idling away at whatever you really choose to run it at. So this is the drain valve for the injection pump. I have been told make sure that that's not full of diesel fuel. And we have our gas shut off right here. So right here is actually just our little gas tank for the carburetor. Yeah, it's actually a pretty neat design. They start really well in the winter. Like our TD18 hadn't been running in 3 or 4 months, and it fired up, you know, first try. There's a video of that in here somewhere. It's old technology, but it works. I think this is the dozer we're gonna use, hopefully. Seems like it's in decent shape. It's got gauges, needs a seat, needs batteries, but it's got good tracks. It's in nice shape. Seems fairly complete. I know a couple of these other ones are missing parts. But yeah, I think we're gonna peel off this white carburetor right now and go rebuild that one. We're gonna have some fun here in a couple months, maybe earlier if we can get this thing towed to a better area. Love old stuff. New stuff's comfy, but old stuff's actually like good. You can see actually right here. So this is the ground for the magneto. The spring and a bunch of other shit's missing in there. But you get the idea. This is the one I stole the carb off last weekend. So yeah, let's do some stuff. All right. So here's our TD18. So back in the day, that'd be about the size of a D8. And that's one of our other big dozers. So as well, it fires up on gas and then runs on diesel. And if we go for a little drive around here, see the Rego. A little set of scrapers. We got a DW21 pay scraper, old Heil scraper. Got a small John Deere with a 2-cylinder. And then this is TD18 number 5. So we don't know if it runs either, but we know the tracks are seized. So we got to work on that a little bit before we can do much with that bad boy. So it might loan some parts to us as well. And if we go for a little drive, so we got to do carb rebuilds on this turd as well. Front and rear engine. And we find ourselves at the Dominion shovel. So this thing was actually made in Canada. It also has a big International UD24 in the back there. It's actually in really nice shape, but the carburetor's not real great. So my plan is if I can rebuild one of those C12s that's on a TD18, I could maybe stick it on this bad boy because we know it runs real good. And then we could use that this year. It'd be awesome. So it's not too often you see heavy equipment kicking around that was made in Canada. So that'll be fun. We got the Northwests here, and they've got big Murphys in them, so they'll be easy to start, I hope. Yeah.